And
hello and welcome to A Gypsy's Kiss. It's Humpday Hoedown and I'm Shelley Carney.
And apparently I'm the Tobster now. It's become a thing. I'm Toby Younis. Join us tonight. We're got some emails to read, some text messages. I even want you to get me back to that Instagram message.
Okay.
We have an Instagram message to read. And then we'll take open phone calls, and maybe you guys can help some of these new searchers that have signed on and are trying to figure out where the treasure is. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to have a good
hello.
time today. Yeah. They seem like good people so far. We'll talk about this in just a minute. Oh, we still haven't settled with YouTube, so no music tonight.
Except for this, because it's YouTube music.
This is YouTube music. Ooh. Hey, Miss Shelley, how are you doing?
I'm doing super.
Yeah. Did you have a good afternoon?
Yeah, we had lots of fun.
Yeah,
we did my show. We talked about discipline, and your daughter-in-law called in or texted in or
that's right.
messaged in. That
Our
was
daughter,
fun.
Jason's spouse, Rolene. I'm always hesitant to call him wife because I don't think that's proper anymore. What do you call them? Do you call them partner? Life partners?
It's his wife.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing wrong with being
She
a wife.
texted. She was in the room and she had questions for Shelley. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because she has my name. Hey, Jennifer
And
Norred
then
in the Facebook page.
We did some internet shopping.
Welcome. Oh, yeah. So in the past 2 days, I've spent $200 at the combination of eBay and Etsy on toys because it's part of our new kind of channel direction. In another channel. We're gonna tell you about that in just a little bit because I think I want to start the show. But first,
housekeeping, you want towels?
Of course you want towels. So remember before you leave tonight to take
Eric,
a moment.
did you see towels on the trail?
Was Eric on the trail?
He said he's something interesting today on the trail. So was it towels?
So we would appreciate it if before you leave this program tonight, or if you're watching at a later time, take a moment to like our video. YouTube really likes it when you like our video. It makes them happy and it makes us happy. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, and the entirety of your social networks. That gives us the opportunity to
grow our channel.
That's right. And then finally, if you're not already a subscriber, especially for those new folks that have joined the search in the past week or so as a result of the Money Magazine, if you're not already a subscriber, this would be the ideal opportunity to subscribe and click that notifications bell when you see it. And that way, whenever we start a live stream or we schedule a live stream, you will be immediately informed and
in the know.
And there's nothing better than being in the know. I didn't expect the second one.
No.
So tell them about how to reach us here.
Oh, yeah. So if you will look at Christine Kenzie's remark to us, she starts it off with @ A Gypsy's Kiss, and that highlighted it in orange for us so that we would make sure to see it. Another way you can highlight your comment or question is to click on the Super Chat button, which is the stylized $sign at the bottom of the chat, and put a little money on it, anywhere from 99 cents to $499 or $500.
You can actually do 500 is the max.
So, and that will put your comment or question in a lovely highlighted box that pops up to the top of the screen and stays there for quite a while, depending on how much money you put in.
Yeah, it's interesting because the more money you put on it, the longer it stays up there highlighted.
You can put in Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, you can put in pounds. We've had it all, and it all works. So feel free to use that if you are so inclined. You may otherwise contact us by texting us at 866-597-9901, or you can leave a voicemail, or you can email us. Here's another way to give us money. PayPal.me @ A Gypsy's Kiss. That works for money. Please like, share, and subscribe. And anyway, our email is gypsieskiss@gmail.com. It's very simple.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing all that.
Here it comes. Send us an email.
Gypsies. Here it comes. So if you need to contact us, keep an eye on that crawl, because all the ways that you can find to contact us are in that crawl. Email, phone number.
Those are the best.
Right.
Those are the ones we check the most often. We
Right.
don't usually check very often on social media such as Facebook or Instagram. Sometimes we stumble across a message that's been there for months. So if you do not want your message to languish in the webosphere, make sure you email us or give us a
Text
call.
message. That text message, 866-597-9901.
Easy.
It pops up in my screen, and I read the message because you say, I need to talk to you right now, Toby. So it's very likely. I'm getting like Fenn, and so I'm not going to call you back because it's more fun reading it on the show.
Yeah.
Especially the ones where say, please don't read this on your show, because we will read it on our show. Okay, so let me give you a little update
Sharing
about
is
something.
caring.
Sharing is caring. About something that we're doing. So you guys are always so first of all, Shelley and I have made a really big investment in getting YouTube, right? So understanding YouTube, understanding live stream. We've invested a lot of time and money in being good at this, right? But not being good. We can always improve.
Oh, yeah.
But we have the technology, we have the capability, we have the skills, and we enjoy spending time with one another. So you guys are always asking us. I want you to know this is not the result of you asking us, what are you going to do when you find the treasure? We have no idea. We're not even sure that it's going to be found anytime soon. We can have that discussion tonight. But we're always looking for other things to do. So you know that Shelley has the softer side, which is very much a channel based on her personality and her skill set as a transitions coach. And she has fun with it, and I have fun with it. I learn from it, et cetera, et cetera. You know that we tried Lady in the Oracle because we both had experience in reading cards, and we just, it didn't work for us. I should say it didn't work for me. It had been too long. I mean, I used to do that in my, 60s and 70s and 80s days when it was cool to do, and you could pick up chicks with it. But I just wasn't there now. So we were always looking for things, and we're always exploring YouTube to see what's hot and what's not. What are people doing? And I think the one advantage that we have is the skill with the live streaming as well as the studio. So we're always looking for ways to leverage that at Oracle. It goes Oracle. Oracle was one of my clients back in the 90s. And we're always looking for ways to leverage the investment that we make, as well as have fun and spend time together. Yeah. Oh,
I was just reading what Eric
okay.
found on the trail.
I saw that.
Oh.
And you can, if it was in a national park, wouldn't it be fun to pick that up? If it's not in a national park,
I wouldn't want to pick it up. Ew.
A skull and bring that home, hang it on your wall, like Predator.
That's disgusting.
Oh, okay, maybe.
How would you like it if somebody took your body parts and hung them on their wall?
I would haunt the hell out of them if they did that to me.
You want a haunted by a bear? I don't.
So, anyway, so we're always looking for other opportunities. You know that
we
we
forgot
have.
the camels.
Oh, rats.
Thanks, AJ.
Oh, dang nabbit. Okay, so we're going to take a break with the camels, and then we'll come back. I'm sorry I forgot that. I was so excited about all this other stuff. We can't leave out the camels. We have a new song for the camels so that we can't get in trouble with the two YouTubers. Here it comes.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Julie, huh? Julie, guess what day it is? Julie, huh? Julie. Mike, what day is it, Mike? Come on, I know you can hear me. Anybody? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike, what day is it, Mike? Anybody? Julie, huh? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Julie, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike, what day is it, Mike? Let's guess what today is.
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Hump day.
It is indeed hump day. We're halfway through the week, guys.
Hi, honey. Are you coming home tonight or
Kevin
tomorrow?
in the room. Yeah. What's this? What's the schedule like, Kev?
Scoop. What's the scoop?
What's the scoop on the scad? So we're always looking for opportunities. We have another channel called Video Tarot that was focused on our filmmaking, documentary making, film works, film technology, all this stuff. So I recently changed the name of that channel to It's Not a Restoration. And if you watch the channel, eventually I'll explain to you why it's called. It's not a restoration. And yesterday we were goofing around and we thought, let's make the first video. So we shot, I'm going to show it to you. I'll share it on the screen with you, okay? So we shot this video. And so one of the things that you're going to see on Friday, I don't know if you guys can hear it on that side. I'm just going to kind of key through it. Okay, so it's got this cool stuff. Like sandblasting and buffing and things like that. Okay, so it's not ASMR, but there's no talking. It's just like you see what we're doing. And I made an investment in some equipment that gives us the ability to take anything, sandblast it, and then polish it and powder coat it. So we're going to play with that. You know, we've got this new YouTube channel now. So that's making videos. We know how to do that. This actually, because we kind of winged it yesterday. I mean, we literally put this together, shot this video, put it together, shot it, and edited in one day. All of that happened in one day. But what we're going to do is, as we promote this channel, we're going to start inviting people not only to watch the videos, but then on Friday, we're going to release the videos on Wednesdays. And then on Fridays, we're going to have a live stream that discusses what we were doing in the video with pictures of the equipment and why we chose to pick that kind of equipment, you know, for that purposes. And we're going to start with, we started with the idea of doing this with die-cast vehicles because it's really hot right now. But Shelley and I became enchanted, if you will, with these larger toys, the pressed metal toys that were made from Tonka and Nylint and a couple of other companies that were made in the 50s and 60s. And then by the 70s, some of the companies had died out. By the 80s, they were competing with Chinese plastic and just getting it from them. So they effectively went out of business. But there's all these things. You can go to eBay and just type, you know, when you get a chance, go to eBay and type in Nylint, Nylint Roadster, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, I bought, I don't know, 6, 7 of them.
Something like that.
Yesterday. So they're all on their way from eBay and Etsy. And we're just going to start playing with it and see what we can do with it and build out that channel. So when one of you guys finds the treasure, we'll have something else to do besides talk about Forrest Fenn's treasure. Now, if you don't find the treasure, we'll just stick around here too. But we just feel like, we've got all this equipment. We've got all this stuff. Not only that, we have, you know, I've got a closet full of video production equipment that stayed with me after I retired, so we can put that to good use as well. So it's just a fun way to do this, use our video production skills, because basically when you look at the softer side and the Fenn Treasure, Gypsy's Kiss, they're all focused on the live stream. So we miss shooting stuff. I don't mean shooting like finding somebody and shooting them. But, I mean, we miss producing videos in the classic sense. And so we thought this was a good way to do all of this. I'm going to do the handiwork, and Shelley's going to be the DP, the director of photography, and she's going to shoot it. And then I'm going to handle editing until we kind of agree on a style that we both want. And then she'll do the editing as well. Okay? So that's kind of where we're going with it. We think it's we're looking forward to a lot of fun. So there is one thing.
And William, you asked about Udemy. We still have our one course on there is Video Tarot. I'm putting up another course sometime this summer, how to be your own life coach, but that's going to be under my name. And the next one I'll do after that will be beginning biohacking. So if you're interested in those topics, they'll be up on Udemy sometime this summer.
So yeah, if you have any old Tonka trunks or trucks or any Nylint trucks, any of those pressed steel vehicles, not the plastic ones, the pressed steel ones that are held together with tabs, and you don't want it anymore, send it to us. The mail address is down below, although that's going to change now that I moved out here.
Will we be doing more travel videos?
AJ, we haven't decided. We do like traveling, but it's not
But
often
then if we're
enough.
traveling, we're not here to do a live show.
Right. That's what we figured out. We either have a choice of doing the live show. We are going to do some traveling. I'm headed out to the East Coast to visit babies, grandchildren, and daughters and grandchildren closer to August. So we are going to do some traveling. Shelley and Kevin are planning to go up to Cody to look at retirement opportunities up there. I may go with them on that just because I don't think I've ever been to Cody, Wyoming. So so we'll be doing some traveling and we'll make some videos, but we hope that you find these other videos. So this week we did.
Did you say you didn't think you'd been to Wyoming?
No, Cody. I'm sorry. I didn't think I'd been to Cody. I've been to Wyoming. We went there together. You
I
and me.
thought so.
Yeah.
There's
What?
some dinner over there.
Some dinner. So yeah, take a look. Go to the channel. It's called It's Not a Restoration. And the reason I did that was because these guys would be, the people that are doing this would restore something, and then they would be criticized that they were polishing away the history. And it's not really a restoration if it doesn't go back to its original, et cetera, et cetera. So we call it It's Not a Restoration because we're going to do some really interesting things with it. So, and I got this equipment. I got a new sandblaster. I got a new powder coating gun, a new powder coating booth, a new powder coating oven, all kinds of tools. I love tools. And so I do.
Toys and tools.
Yeah, toys and tools. That's where we're at. So, okay, enough of that. Go subscribe to It's Not a Restoration. That's us.
Yeah.
And you'll see our first video up there already. And so on Friday...
Or if you were already subscribed to Video Tarot, then
you're
it has
probably
changed.
already there.
So,
yeah. On Friday, we're going to do 4 shows. We're going to do Gypsy Kiss at 1 p.m., The Softer Side at 2:30, It's Not a Restoration at 4, and back to Friday Night Fandango at 7. So we're going to do all of that on Friday. But
Mitzi wants to hear about the Rooster roster.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's
You got
see
the
if I can
updates?
find it.
You want me to bring it up on here? I can print it out real quick.
I got it over here. It's just at the bottom of the pile, I guess.
Who's July? June.
June. For June, we have Cynthia Meacham. She's on her way up there, I think. And we have Mr. T. We have Sheila Draper, John Edo, S.J. Kent. Evan Penn said he already did a fail, so he's done. Jana, Minnesota, Jeff Anschultz, Christy and Mike, CMC, Mark Connor, Mitzi Moore. Mitzi, we're looking at you. Denise Baker, which is also the same as Drawing Nigh. William Goswick, Treasure Finder, J.A. Street, Rudy Green, Gary Barber, Copper Dan, Beverly Hills Billy, and Paladin.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
quite a
with
lot
that
of
many people,
somebody should be finding it.
you know what, Mitzi? It's not actually a white tie. You can't see it in this light, but it's white stripes with kind of, what color would you call the
Cream.
cream? So it's not actually white. There it is. You can see it a little bit better. It's striped. So
It's almost pearls, like I'm wearing pearls.
Yeah,
He's wearing
so
his tie that looks like pearls.
we're matched again. Well, unintentionally. Didn't plan it. Okay.
That's true.
So let's go to emails. Then we'll go visit the room.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Go.
This is a quick question from DJ Novatech. Hi, Shelley and Toby. DJ Novatech from good old Gallup, New Mexico. Quick question. Are the Jemez Mountain Range part of the Rocky Mountain Ranges? And do you
Go
want to
ahead.
listen? And we are heading to Santa Fe this Saturday, and we plan to be boots on the ground this Sunday. Can we meet up Saturday noonish if you two are available? Thank you two for everything, DJ. Are you going to be coming through the Bernalillo area at around noon
Yeah.
on your way to Santa Fe? Is that what
If
we're
you're coming
thinking?
through Bernalillo around noonish, we can meet you someplace for maybe some coffee or a light lunch. So yeah, definitely. Let me. I'm going to pull up some maps here. Let me see if I can
Time
find
for
this.
maps.
This is one of my favorite maps. Okay. So whenever I get this question, I go to this map, and let me get you the screenshot again. right? So as you can see, this defines the Rocky Mountains going all the way up to Alaska, and then the brown represents the higher altitudes. So you can see through the higher altitudes. And then as you come right down here, you'll see there's Santa Fe. And that line right there is the Rio Grande, the Rio Grande, El Rio Grande. And it separates the two parts of the range. This is the Sangre de Cristos on one side, and this is the, what is the name of that range? Somebody tell me what the range west of the Rio Grande, is that the Tuxas range? But as you can see, the Rocky Mountains, the mountains word comes right down there until it's almost on top of Santa Fe, and it divides kind of the same thing, the Rio Grande. So our conclusion has always been that that area is in the Rocky Mountains according to the maps. So I hope that answers your question. Wait a minute, I got to bring back all my screens here. Ooh. Okay, that needs to go out of the way over there. All right. And you need to see that here. Okay, sorry. We're doing some technical direction.
And I just got us shared on Facebook, so people can start seeing us there.
So hi to you folks that are watching us on Facebook. Thanks for joining us tonight. And although you can't see it, if you type a chat line on your Facebook page, I can see it in front of me using Restream.io. Okay. So, let me mention one other thing. Oh, we'll get to it when I read. So, is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is from Jeremy Britton. And it's the subject line is removing the treasure. It says test. I'm sure he meant chest to take it to the United Kingdom. How interesting. He's called Jeremy Britton. Dear Toby and Shelley, I would like your advice regarding taking the chest to the United Kingdom when I remove it in September of 2019, please. I have worked out all the clues from the poem and know the exact location of the chest. We ought to add him to the Rooster roster. Know the exact location of the chest. The only reason I could not retrieve it was because the river water was too high and dangerous to cross to get it. Oh, so he's already been here once. That's expensive. It was very, very frustrating. I have hand-delivered a letter to Forrest Fenn last week at the Cody Museum telling him that I know where the chest is located. When I was on vacation in Wyoming, I was told by the staff of the museum that Forrest was at the AGM all week in Cody. Would you have his email address, please? Jeremy, his email address is forrestfenn@gmail.com. Don't be surprised if he doesn't respond. He's responding to fewer and fewer emails. As far as you're taking the chest to the United Kingdom, I think actually trying to get the chest out of the country in a legal way and moving it to the United Kingdom creates a whole passel of problems, both on the U.S. side, because you're not going to get it out of the country without answering a lot of questions, especially if Forrest has passed and you don't have anyone to validate or what's going on here. And then when you get to the UK, then you've got some taxes of all kinds that you're going to have to pay. My recommendation to you, if I was in that situation where I lived in another country, not the United States, I would leave it in trust with someone, in a form of trust with a banker or reputable lawyers, and then decide with them how to liquidate it still in the United States so you can do a cash conversion, which of course will be a lot easier. You're still going to get taxed, and the problem is you're either going to get taxed in the United States or the UK. I think the only benefit of taking it out of the country is that you don't get taxed in the U.S., you get taxed in the UK. But now I'm at the extent of my trying to give legal knowledge to anyone. I would not, my only recommendation is that if I was in your situation, I would find a way to put it in trust and have it liquidated and not try to take it out of the country. Let somebody else take it out of the country. Put it up for auction at Sotheby's and then have a Russian oligarch and a Saudi oil prince bidding for it and let them worry about it because they can afford the lawyers to do it. That's my thought. Those are my thoughts. Your turn.
All right. This one is the one you have put in our.
Yes.
Do you want me to read that? or
Yeah,
you
let
wanna
me
read
just
that?
say it. So Steve Klein was very kind enough to share a video from YouTube with me called Chasing Rivers Part 1, the Colorado Nat Geo Live on YouTube. And this is a combination of short documentary with it was made by a gentleman whose name is Pete McBride, and he's actually a National Geographic photographer and videographer, and he was doing a story in 2014. I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but the Colorado River, which was one of the main rivers in the United States and fed into the sea in Mexico, the what do you call it, the Baja Mexico, the sea, the Sea of Cortez. What is that stretch of water that goes down the east side of Baja? Anyway, that's where the Colorado used to feed before it was used to irrigate California and Arizona and parts of New Mexico. So for years and years, it's never actually made it all the way to the sea. Well, in 2014, something happened, and it's all part of the story. I haven't seen the entire video, but it was the 1 year in recent memory where the Colorado River made it all the way to the sea. And Pete made a story about it, made a video about it, a documentary, and it's very heartfelt on his part. You can tell he takes this seriously. Anyway, Steve Klein, one of our viewers, shared it with us, and I have put that, rather than trying to read all of that to you, which I've kind of done anyway, I've put that on our community blog right here, community blog right there, and that's the link. And I strongly recommend that if you want to, it's just an amazingly interesting story, and it is an indication of how our world has changed. So it's called Chasing Rivers, and he's going to do this with a bunch of, not only the Colorado, but he's going to do it with a bunch of other rivers in the United States that don't ever reach their goal of getting to the sea. I don't know. There was also a documentary called Chasing Ice, and it was done by another National Geographic videographer who was studying the way the ice was diminishing. The ice cap in Greenland was diminishing, and he did it over a 10-year period. You could actually he made videos of each of the changes. That you get a sense that Pete was trying to do something like that. So he's entitled it Chasing Rivers. And this one is Part 1, the Colorado. I strongly recommend you go see it. And I wanted to thank Steve for sharing that with us. That was very thoughtful. Coming back to full screen.
All right. Next,
Sea of Cortez, Victor. Yeah,
next email
that's what I thought it
is
was.
called Passing Through Your Area on June 27th.
Oh.
We have quite the busy schedule coming up. Brian Ulrich. Hi, Toby and Shelley. I was supposed to meet you at the range the day after you shut down in October 2018, and you weren't able to meet up due to a marathon in the area. Well, me, my wife, and my daughter, who is a YouTuber, will be passing through your area on the 27th of June around lunchtime. Can we meet up to say hello? My daughter, Samantha, is at youtube.com/Samantha Ulrich. Would love to talk YouTube with you. Brian Ulrich.
How cute.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
What is the 27th? What day of the week is that?
I don't know. Today is the 19th, so 7 days from today. Friday. Next Friday. Am I just making that up? You're giving me that look.
I don't know. I think you made it up.
No. It's 7 days from today.
Today
is Friday.
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Humpday
Sorry.
Hoedown.
Never mind. Oh, okay. No, I thought it was Friday. What's her name?
Samantha.
Aulrich. Oh, I probably spelled it wrong. Samantha. Is there two A's?
Samantha.
U. There's not two A's there.
Ulrich.
Right. Okay, that's why. I put two A's in there. I put a Samantha and an Ulrich. Let's see if that works. There she is.
DC Comic Doll Videos. My world is now your world.
5.5. She has more subscribers than we do. She's got 5.5 subscribers. She's monetized. And she's on Social Blade, too. So how cute is that? Who was that, Brian?
Yes.
Brian? Yeah, Brian, give us a call. We're together on Wednesdays because, as you see, we can do the shows. But maybe we can figure out somewhere in between the 3 shows we can meet up because we'd love to meet Samantha.
Batman's face reveal.
I am going to screenshot that just so you guys can see it. So that's Samantha's YouTube channel. As you can see, she's got 5,500 subscribers, and she does all her own production. How cute is that?
Wow.
Congratulations, Samantha. Well done.
She'll probably like one of those cars we're going to make. That dune buggy.
Ooh, the dune buggy. The dune buggy.
Yeah, but remember the front seat were broken out of that
we
because I
fix all
bet
that
somebody's trying to shove their Barbie dolls.
Yeah, their
in
Barbie
there.
doll in there. Okay, so that's
That was we read that.
So we
earlier
read the
today.
Ronaldo Vasquez this morning, but what I want to do is Ronaldo also sent me some pictures of his trip. Let me see if I can bring those up real quick so I can share those with you as well. Ronaldo. Okay. Oh, he did it in 3 different. Let's see. Let's see if there's any one that kind of shows. Okay, I'm just going to share. So he sent me several, but he sent them all in separate emails, so I can't page through them. But this is the area. This looks like Quake Lake to me. So I think this is the area that he was searching in. See how pretty it is. So he's the one, if you saw our show this afternoon, he's the one that had written the letter to Fenn saying that this was his last search and he's going to move on with his life. So
He's an old man now. He's 33.
yeah, he's got plenty of time to think this out and come back to it. Okay, why don't you go ahead and go back to the chat room, and then we'll do some other things.
All right. We can say hello, or did you want?
Yeah, let's do some hellos.
Get our video going on our hellos.
Let's see. Hello video. Let's see. Hello chat room.
I got sunshine.
Oh, don't even start with that stuff. I'm trying to behave here.
There's no music. It's just me singing. They can't copyright my voice. It's my voice.
That's right.
So there.
All right. Hit it.
All right. So I'm going to start at 7 o'clock.
It's just fair because there were people in here as early as.
Yeah. So we have L. Ryder, hello, Wayne Ross, 2 Buckets Prospecting from Tombstone, Victor Fleming, Christine Kenzie from Wisconsin, Mr. Anonymous, Mount Jam 1971, Oscar Rodriguez, Virginia Man, Belva Jenkins from Chattanooga, Joe Sharon. We have Wayne Ross, Shelley Rybacki,
Rebecca, it sounds.
Rybacki, Rybacki. AJ Rainville. Oh, and Shelley spells her name the same way that I do.
With
So
2 E's?
Good job. That's right. The best way. Missouri Dave is here. 11 Bravo 2 Papa Treasure Finder. Wayne Ross, I said that. Toby Fan 3000 John Werner, one of our
Moderators.
esteemed moderators.
We'd like to thank our moderators for helping to keep the room moving along. Also, Mitzi Moore is in the room, another one of our moderators. I thought I saw ES. Or
yeah, he was here. He's here.
was that this afternoon?
He's the one that saw something on the trail.
Oh, okay. That's
Bear
the third of our
skull.
moderators. So
Yeah.
all the moderators are in the room today.
Hey, John Robinette, haven't seen you in a long time.
Back in the room.
Texas Sad. I don't know how to say that.
We need to pronounce it. It's Texas H SAD is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So there's a
The
part of
H
me.
is silent, right? I'm going
H
to go
is
with the
silent.
H is silent.
H is silent, so it's Texas SAD.
Unless it's Texas Sad. Texas.
Texash? Maybe there's something there. Texash SAD.
I'm not quite sure. Anyway,
So, tell us what's going on there.
Hooley is here.
Hi, Hooley.
Non-rooster noobs, welcome. Eric Schmidt, Boxhound, Ross B, Dave Headbloom from Wisconsin.
Copper Dan's dad.
That's right. So Eric found a grizzly bear skull and spinal column on the trail where he was.
Okay. Well, you're
Karen
doing that,
Werner's
yeah.
here. Rick Plank from Cincinnati. We have Journeyman Williams here. Who's a charter employee in Denver and going boots on the ground this weekend? Charter employee? William Hoda from Connecticut. We have... Why is my voice going in and out? Here we go. We have Mr. T. Am I too loud now? Victor
No,
Fleming.
you're fine. It's my headset that's loud. You're good.
AJ Rainville.
I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers are good.
All right, 500 pieces. Kevin, my husband, Kevin Carney. Hello again.
Carney.
Minotaur Moreno. Out of the labyrinth and into the chat room.
That's Minotaur.
Mm-hmm. Bloop Bop. Bloop Bop Mitzi. The Sassy is here. Jungle Cruiser. And Bill Cross from Texas. John Edo heading out next week.
Yeah, John, go get
He's
him.
on our rooster roster.
brother.
Rudy
Put
Green,
us all
treasure
out of our
hunter.
misery.
Take me off the list, says Rudy Green. I got back from boots on the ground today and no chest at my spot. Wah, wah, wah.
What do we have a? Oh, we don't have that.
We have a...
More cowbell.
We used to have... Oh, but
we
we
took
don't
it out.
have it anymore. You got rid of it. We'll have to get new sound effects, I guess. They don't tag us for sound effects.
Hey, Christine Kenzie is having a conversation with me, and I'm just trying to watch the whole chat room. And Christine, I'm not ignoring you. I just can't put it all together just
Rudy
yet.
Green.
D.B. Cooper's in the room.
There we go.
Back from his mission.
Off the rooster roster. Alan K is here.
Hey, Alan.
Out of the rabbit hole and into the sunlight.
Out of the rabbit.
And
No questions. Janet Landgaard's in the room. We're great. The minute I get her music finally, and we can't play it.
Ice Cream Searcher from Canada.
Christy's in the room. What's Christy doing in the room? Christy, why are you in the room? Shouldn't you be flying? Oh, I had a delay, and United actually...
Held the flight while I made a run for it. It was awesome.
So the question is, where are you
as
now?
they should.
Where
It's
are,
not
are you on the
your fault
airplane,
the flight
or
was late.
are you at some in-between point?
Budweiser Nenig is here.
Oh, she's in the air.
She's texting from the plane.
Yeah, she's texting from her aircraft.
Or putting in the chat room when he is. DB Cooper, Oscar Rodriguez, January 17th forever. Boxhound, I think I said that.
I wonder if January 17th forever knows
Joe
January 17th is
Sheeran.
my birthday.
Brad Rhodes.
My birth date.
Boop, 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 boop. Ob Ord, also known as George.
George is in the room.
Vicky McMillan.
So, George, we got this couple of emails from you saying that you weren't sure what you were doing, that you wanted to go, that you didn't want to go. Why don't you give us a call later and let's talk about, see where you're at.
Will he stay or will he go?
Will he stay?
Evan Penn, I Love Lucy. Aaron Herlihy, 7 days from today, question mark.
Yeah, Bloop, I agree with you on happy birthday. It's finally fair use. So you got to be cautious with that fair use thing because it's not part of the copyright law. It's used as a defense, and it's always used as a defense when people claim that they're using it in a fair way, making like a critical analysis. Let's say I play some music from Def Leppard, and I play a little bit of it, and then I do a critical analysis. That's where the fair use argument is being made. We could never use the fair use argument because we're not making a lot of money, but we get money from YouTube. So we're not doing a critical analysis of each of the songs we play. So it's really hard. But again, fair use is not part of the copyright law. It's just what your lawyer does when you get in trouble that way and you decide you want to fight it.
We have Opinionated Fool.
Brit Chaser's in the room, just lurking, half asleep at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah. Off Trail Jaeger.
In the UK.
K-Pro, as you mentioned. Donnie Blaze. 3D Bronze. Heather Dawn is here.
Hi, Heather Dawn. Hope she's feeling well.
Robert Delgado.
Hey, Roberto. My mother's side of the family was Delgado from Santa Fe. So, are we related? Did you do 23andMe? Because I did 23andMe, and I found a whole bunch of Delgados I didn't even know existed. So,
Chris Kibbe,
Robert Delgado,
DIY Dave, Janet Langard.
Yeah, my mother's side is Delgado and Espinosa.
Milan Fenner.
That's where all that Spanish blood comes from.
Jungle Cruiser. And it popped up. John Loro. I think I got that.
Jennifer Norrid from Facebook. She says, wow.
To north.
Wow, Toby, I can't believe you said that about a K-Pro. What is it about K-Pro? I love K-Pro. I wouldn't say anything mean. Tanar says, the Gypsy's Kiss. Hi, Shelley and Toby. Aboard says, hope he really got rid of it. My aunt had it. Oh, George, I missed part of that conversation because I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know if he's talking to us there. He may be talking
Okay,
to someone else.
so I wonder if K-Pro can see, man, is the wireless on aircraft good enough to see like the chat and the video and all that?
Sometimes.
Okay, so I'm going to read my Instagram.
You're near a cell tower.
We're going to go to
satellite.
voicemail and text messages, but I did get a text message on my Instagram account, and what happened is there's some jamoke over on Chase Chat. Jamoke, yeah, he's a jamoke. Pasty white guy.
Is he from Ireland?
Oh, that was unfair.
Pasty white guy. We were listening to an Irish comic yesterday.
Yeah,
it was going
right.
on about how pasty white he was.
So somebody in Chase Chat, the chasechat.com, the forum, posted our personal Instagram accounts. So all of a sudden I had 40 new followers that I didn't know who they were, and I was getting text
Did
messages
you do
from
mine?
them.
Did I get new followers?
Yeah, I don't know. Check it
don't
because
know.
he listed both of them.
Oh.
So,
Well,
and following my Instagram account is probably the most boring thing because it's like the grandpa.
And mine, you're just going to get all the softer side stuff. So
right.
That's
it's
cool.
the grandpa and daddy side of Toby. So, so this guy says, hello, Toby. This is Mike Money from
I
Pennsylvania.
didn't get any new ones.
Oh, haven't we talked to this guy on the phone?
Mike from Pennsylvania?
Hi, Toby. This is Mike Money from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I didn't know what other way to reach you. Just look,
Apparently you did, or you wouldn't have called in.
just look up here because there are all kinds of ways to reach us, Mike. I'm going to keep this short and sweet and wanted to offer you 15% stake to join the search with me one last time in Colorado. I told you I was going next year, but I really want to get there this year. How did he tell me that? He must have reached out to me some other way. But I really want to get there this year, and there is only one way of doing that, and it's going half on an airline ticket and getting a ride from Colorado to his location, hopefully back to some media outlets. Oh, because they'll have the treasure. And I honestly wanted to offer you the opportunity because I think you are the only one who was more invested than any other person I know. Wow. I don't know. I know some pretty serious searchers that,
Like Cynthia.
far exceed my capacity for interest. And I mean, I can't be that interested. I quit looking. I'm a spiritual person. I'm a spiritual person, and I think you are too. Why does he have me wrong? I have a location, like I
Depends on
mentioned,
your definition
in
of
Browns
spiritual.
Canyon, and it is a waterfall fall, and I know where to go, 67 yards to be exact, to start looking for the blaze. Will you join me? Michael, I will not because I don't like you, but because I'm not interested in looking for Fenn's treasure. I have YouTube channels to build, for lack of a better excuse. Okay? All right. What are we doing? Where are we?
Well, Heather Dunn wants us to do a show on how deep is a hole. I don't think we can do that. Wouldn't know what to say about it.
It's a question of philosophy. It's something that you would have studied in your Philosophy 101 class because it's a series of questions that are called unanswerable. There is no answer to them. And so in philosophy, one of the things that you try to do is figure out what they test you with. And that's not one of them, by the way.
What is the sound of one hand clapping?
Right. So the
That's an ASMR thing for you guys. What is over here?
you got to watch our show next week. Or Friday, right?
Friday.
They're gonna do some
Friday.
ASMR.
ASMR. Friday.
Don't start whispering again. It made DJ real nervous that we were whispering.
Whispering.
I forgot what I
I
was
just
saying.
didn't want to be too loud.
What was I saying? I was talking about
About
something.
how deep is a hole?
Oh, so it's a philosophy 101 question, and the proposition is a question that ultimately is unanswerable. So how deep is a hole is unanswerable in the sense that a hole is only as deep as it is, right? So if it's a 2 foot deep hole, then it's 2 feet deep. But there is no answer to it, and that's a whole category of philosophical questions that don't have answers. It's not a good debate. There is no debate in it, and it's not a good conversation. It doesn't go very far. I mean, it'll go like down into the hole for about 2 feet, and then it's
How deep
just
is a
as-
rabbit hole? It goes
doesn't
forever. It goes
really-
forever and ever.
Okay, let's go to some text messages. Ooh, voicemails.
Eric Schmidt says, I would like a detailed analysis of what the heck look quickly down actually means in Fenglish.
In English. Okay, so I've got a couple of, let's do this voicemail first. Let's see what we got here.
Hey there. This is Brent John calling you. I guess I'll give you my name. But I've been trying to reach out to you guys for about 2.5 years, and I guess I just never had a number or whatever, you know. I was right on top of the treasure and found the secret place, and I got a letter from Forrest Fenn telling me that I have pinpointed the location of the treasure and that I was there. And it was very hard for him to basically hold back and not tell me that I was really there. And my notes were right, and we could talk about this more later. I was hoping to make a movie on it. So if we can get it publicized and, you know, the lure, Forrest B. Fenn's treasure found, give me a call back. My name is Brent John. You can email me at gmail.com. 928.
Oh,
You guys. Thank you for all your support and your videos. They are great. In fact, I wouldn't mind helping with some of the videos because I like watching them. Well, this is all about the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, and I have found them.
oh, dang nabbit.
Well, you have helped us with tonight's video, so there. Good for you.
So he wants us to
Hey
give him a
there.
call back.
Oh, it's back. He's back.
Oh, no. Oh,
that
it
him
is.
again?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it is. Okay, so we got a second voicemail. So this one was sent on Sunday, and then he sent another one on Monday. So let's
Oh.
see what he has, if he's changed his mind yet.
Hey, Gypsy's Kiss. Got a little bit of some important information. If you'd please give me a call back, okay? So we can discuss a little bit. I do have the whereabouts of the treasure, all right? And Finn has wrote me and let me know that I do have it. And just trust me. I got the whole story. And let's make a movie on this, please. Give me a call back. I would really appreciate this.
All right. He gave me his phone number again. So what do you think? Should we call him?
I think we need to play the rooster video before we do anything
Oh,
else.
okay, I'll play the
We got
rooster
roosters all over the chat room
What
here.
the- Rooster video
Yeah.
for. Okay, so there is a third mail sent yesterday. I mean, a third voicemail, but it's blank. So maybe what we'll do is I have his phone number right here in front of me. I could call him back. But let's get through our
Well, he wouldn't know we were live unless he's in
other
the chat room,
voicemails.
so
Okay.
I don't like to
Pardon me?
surprise people with a live call if they're not expecting it.
Well, no, that's what he said. Call him back.
Well,
Hey, if
okay.
you tell me to call you back, not hey, if you tell me to call you back, I will call you back on the show. Not looking for
So
private.
be
Hey,
careful.
Toby, regarding your last video you done on YouTube, I was just wanting to say the one thing that Forrest Fenn has put out that he has a trove of are his pictures. Trove, seek through his pictures. They contain hints to the location of the treasure.
Oh.
Have a good day.
DB Cooper said, everybody says, okay, we'll call him. Let me get through the other stuff, and then we'll call him. We'll make him the first outbound call today. Okay, what do we got here? Hey, this is from 720. Hi, gang. Steve from Denver here. My question is, Forrest Fenn tells us that the treasure is accessible, so accessible that an 80-year-old person could make it in 2 trips. Why then in the poem does it say you have to be brave to find the treasure, i.e., you would not have to be brave if the treasure presented no danger to find? So being brave doesn't necessarily mean that you're overcoming danger. Sometimes being brave is making the decision to get in your car, drive to where you think your location is, and go out into the forest when you've never been there, when you're coming from the flatlands and you've never been at 8,000 feet before. Now, I'm not saying that Fenn's treasure. So brave has a different definition for almost everyone. It is not the kind of brave. I don't think you need to be brave to scale a cliff to find the treasure. It's not that kind of brave. Brave is saying, you know what? I know where that treasure is. I've got it all figured out. I've got $2,000 in savings, and I'm going to spend that $2,000 in savings exploring this area, looking for the treasure, enjoying the outdoors, and making sure I have bear spray so when I run into that grizzly, I can hold her at bay. Because it's going to, if you're ever eaten by a grizzly, if you end up grizzly poop, it's going to be a girl grizzly that does it to you. I swear they are just meaner than grizzly bears, but I guess that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I don't think the brave refers to some act of bravery that's required in order, some act of physical bravery that's required to find the treasure.
James Bailey says, also he said in several occasions all the bravery was in his talk.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I'm a real brave guy until the bear shows up. Okay, this is from somebody.
Hey, Toby, I don't want you to read anything on your show, but try giving me a call back. I have some interesting things you might like to listen to. All right, bye.
No idea who that was?
No name, no nothing. He's another one, second one to call back. So, guys, if you send it to us, we're going to play it on our show. If you ask us to call you, we're going to call you on your show. Besides, he said read anything. I didn't read anything. So area code 520. I mentioned it earlier today, but I thought I would give my 2 cents again. My best advice for new searchers would be to not let factual knowledge restrict the stretch of your imagination. I really believe that's important. So we've had conversations on this whole thing that imagination is more important than knowledge. So and my favorite example, of course, is Albert Einstein, who from whence the quote arises, and there was nothing wrong with Albert Einstein's intellect and his capacity for acquiring knowledge. The difference between people with knowledge and people that execute upon their imagination is the willingness to take risks, right? Imagination, it's one thing to have knowledge. It's another thing to have a bunch of imagination and not do anything about it. And the difference is that if you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of times it prevents you from taking risks. If you have a big imagination, you can't do anything with it unless you're willing to take risks. And maybe I'll go back to the question that the gentleman about bravery, about being brave, asked, where he cited an instance. Taking risks, if you imagine something and then you follow that something to its conclusion by taking the risks, because going after imagination is just that. More opportunity is lost because people with big imaginations aren't brave enough to take the risk. So I'm going to go back to that other thing. Bravery is associated with a willingness to explore your imagination by taking the risk necessary to get you to whatever it is you think you'll achieve. So they're combined. It's funny because you've got to have a certain amount of knowledge in order to have an imagination, because if you have a big imagination and you don't know what to do with it, you don't know how to scale it, you don't know how to take the risks associated with it, it doesn't do you any good. Those are the people that we call daydreamers, right? Big imaginations, but they just sit in that one lazy boy recliner and don't get any further than that. The brave ones get out of the lazy boy recliner and go after what they imagine. So,
well, they say the biggest repository of creative and imaginative ideas is the graveyard.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what's this guy's name again?
Brett John or
Brett. Okay.
Brett John.
Okay, we're going to give Brett a call back.
Brent.
Is it Brett or Brent?
Brent, I think. Brent John.
Brent John.
Something like that.
Let me just listen to it. I'm just going to listen to the first part so I can make sure I have his name right.
Hey there. This is Brent John calling you.
Yeah, that sounds like Brent John. All right, let's give him. So we're going to give him a call. Hang on, folks. Keep your hats on here. Let's go to call. Let's see if he answers.
Let him know he's being recorded.
Hey, what's that?
Brent John, this is Toby Younis and Shelley Carney calling you from our broadcast headquarters in Bernalillo, New Mexico. And we're calling back because you asked us to call you back. You're on the air. Still with us there, Brent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. So you said you had a bunch of things to tell us. Start telling us.
Yes, I do. I've been on top of the chest for at least 3 years now. I started the hunt when I was, 2015. I got the thrill of the chase and also two-part walk. And there's good hints in both. And I lined it up, and I found the place of the treasure.
And
exactly. I pinpointed it.
But you haven't been. You said you've been on top of the chest, and the impression I got was that you had been physically on top of the chest. That's not what you're saying. Is that correct?
Yes, I got a letter from Forrest Fenn himself, and he states in his letter that he is very proud and impressed how I put together the clues in his book and pinpointed the treasure chest. And then he wrote that I was also there, and the rest of it I would like to share with you and make a movie out of this, because I was a 200-foot searcher and I knew where it was, and the rest is in the story. You know, I do know exactly the exact spot where it was hidden.
So tell me more about this letter that you received from Forrest.
Okay. Yeah, it is a special letter. He told me I was right because I had called him on the phone and told him exactly what I saw in the mountain. So those 4 things, 5. Okay. So I saw the wrench, the Bible, the acorn, and the axe in the suit is right next to it with the book in it, which is two-part walk. And right next to that is something very special, and it fits the description of his pages perfectly. Like perfect, very perfect.
So
let
me ask a couple of questions so that we can make sure, because what we're trying to do is establish some kind of credibility here. You said you had a phone conversation with Fenn. When did that take place?
Yes, in 2015, 2016, and 2017. I would let him know exactly where I was looking for his treasure. And on his first phone call, he told me, well, it's got to be fair. So I lined it up, and I was in the very right spot.
And then,
I mean, perfectly.
In addition to that, you said you received a letter from Forrest. Was that a handwritten letter on paper, or was that an email?
Printed out, and he does sign the very last page, and he also has his personal picture on each page of where he stumbled upon a rock, and so it shows him with his little hat on, and it's stamped on each page.
So in that letter, he has indicated to you that your solution to where you believe the treasure is correct. Am I?
Is correct.
And when do you expect to go?
And
When do you expect to go implement this solution and recover the treasure?
And the rest is in the letter, in Forrest Fenn's letter. And
wait, so did Forrest tell you? In his letter, did he say that you had a limited time, or that you had a specific time? Because my question is for you, not about the letter, but my question to you is, with all this information in hand and the confirmation that you received from Forrest, when do you expect to go recover the treasure?
Well, I have that yet. My last trip, my truck broke down on the road of the treasure.
Oh.
And I had $200. I had $200 in my pocket. So I decided I had to go back 12 miles north with the tow truck, and I was just planning on walking there and grabbing it. And the only problem was I didn't have a working GPS phone. That was my biggest problem. And also everything fits together perfectly like a puzzle. So I got the Terry Scant with marble gaze and just take the chest and go in peace. And it is solid. It is solid. I can see him with his praying thanks to Thor with his graduation hat on. And I see the cannonball on fire. And I also really did pinpoint the treasure chest. The cannonball has a line through it, and it points directly through the wheels, and it points directly at the spot of the treasure.
So let me go back. So you've spoken with Fenn. Fenn has sent you a letter. You've actually tried to do this once, and you were within walking distance of the treasure. Let me go back to the question that I asked a couple of minutes ago, and that is, when do you expect to go back to recover the treasure? How soon will that happen?
I have to say that there's a very beautiful story in his letter, and I'll have to tell you that the chest is claimed, and I can't say right now. I can't state the person's name right now.
So so you're not going back to get the treasure. Is that correct?
I'm going back. I'm going back for certain. I'm going back for certain. But
so wait, what do you?
Right.
If someone has already laid claim to the treasure, what are you going back for? Why are you going back if the treasure has already been claimed by someone who apparently you have their name?
Correct. I do have the name of the finder. I would go back to see that area because on my last trip I wasn't able to get to go there.
Right. So is it your opinion that the treasure has been retrieved and no longer remains where Fenn left it?
It is in the letter, and I believe that the letter is worth quite a bit of money. I would love, I need some definite credit for this credibility.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm trying to figure out is what's the credibility. So you've gone to, where the treasure is. You tried to go to that location once but didn't make it. There is someone else that has retrieved the treasure and you would like to get back there to see where the treasure was at one point in time. You can't share the name of the person. You can't share the name of the person with me. So let me ask again, when do you expect to make that trip to go see the treasure, where the treasure had been located? When are you going to do that?
In about, I'd say about a month.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yes,
keep
sir.
in touch, and if what you say is true, if what you're saying pans out, that the treasure has been retrieved, that you know the location at which it resided before it was retrieved, and you can pinpoint that, there's some kind of story there. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think the better story is the person that already retrieved the treasure and hasn't announced it to. I want to say the community, but to the world. So
Right.
okay.
And I do have the complete story on the person that looked for it for 3 days, and on the third day, they went out, and her husband's name was Brent, and she was in the military. Okay, he was in the military. His name is Brent, and he died. He did not make it out. And so they got the flag at their door, and she found his book, The Thrill of the Chase. So she found the notes in there, and she decided to go camping and look for it for 3 days with her three daughters. Her daughters were 3, 5, and 8. And on the third day, it was supposed to be cold, but it warmed up a little bit, and there was a voice from heaven, and her husband's name was Brent, the same as me, and he told the little girl to stop. And so Mommy stopped, and they got out, and they walked right on that little where it is, and they went directly, step by step, to the treasure chest.
All right.
And they got it.
So let me make sure I understand this clearly. What you're saying to me is that there is a woman who was married to someone who has your name, but who has since passed. And based on the instruction that he left behind in his book, she went to that location with her 3 daughters, and based on some sort of event that occurred and caused them to stop, they stopped at a location where they could see the treasure. It is now recovered and in their hands. Is that accurate?
Yep.
It is. And
Yes,
when
sir.
did that take place?
Yes, sir.
When did that take place?
And that took place this last around the end of winter, so like October or November. It's in the letter. Definitely, it's in the letter, sir.
So October and November
very
is usually thought of as the beginning of winter rather than the end. So you mean the end of summer was when she found it?
Yes.
And
correct,
what's
sir.
your opinion on the matter of why she hasn't announced it?
She did not want to announce this, the find, because she didn't want to end the thrill of the chase for people.
Well, she does know that there are people investing a lot of their time and money and effort with always the chance of being hurt, injured, or maybe even losing their lives out there. Don't you think it would be better for her just to let the community know that it's been recovered so that they aren't spending their time, money, and effort continuing to look for it?
Yes, sir, I do believe that way. And I believe there's an importance to the letter. And I'm the only one that he let know in the whole world that I was correct about the solve completely.
All right. Well,
and,
to me,
it's very special.
So I think we've gone as far with this story as we can tonight. Here's what I'm going to suggest to you: if you can find and I think the next step in validating what you're saying is getting a scan of that letter so that we can give that to the community and see what they think about it. That's up to you. But you have my phone number, so when you get to the point where you want to go to the next step with all this, you let me know. It's been fun talking to you, Brent. You have a good evening, and thank you for answering my call.
Thank you. I will call you back.
I look forward.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, so we got a text message.
We got a few super chats to catch up.
We did?
on.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
I think
I will
people
do-
were trying to raise $20. For
Oh,
you,
no. Guys, you don't need to raise money to get us to quit a call.
We have $2 from Toby Fan 3000 John Werner.
One of our moderators. Thank you, Toby Fan 3000.
$4.99 from Alan K.
Alan
Says,
K.
please hang up.
An iOS user.
And we have $4.99 from William, who says solid entertainment.
Thank you, William.
And Jason Dent gave us $1.
Jason Dent. I didn't even know he was in the room. When did he show up? We didn't say hi on
just a couple minutes
Hey,
ago.
Jason Dent. How are you doing? Thanks for that contribution. We really appreciate it. Okay.
And
Okay, so we
yeah.
have another voicemail. We had a couple of voicemails come in while I was handling that call. So we'll listen to those, and then we'll see if we can get to inbound calls, and you can share your thoughts with what Brent was telling us about, or share thoughts on anything
I
else.
think we have an even amount of people who some love these calls and some are like, oh, hang up.
No, you know what? I'm a firm believer that the world is made up of all kinds of personalities. And the only thing that I know for certain is that none of them are mine any more than they are of yours. And so it's kind of interesting just to meet other people that have a completely different perspective on all this. And when you listen to them, especially when I listen to them on the phone, you can tell they firmly believe what they believe. They have this sense of that. And it's hard to argue with them because, A, I don't know where the treasure is. I don't have the treasure, so I can't argue with them. This story could be just as accurate as any, and you guys know that there have been some stories told about this treasure that you think to yourself, well, that's just plain nuts. They're all kind of plain nuts until that treasure is found. So, and I don't mind listening to them. I actually, for me, it's a way for me to hone my interview skills because you have to listen to them and you have to get them, asking them questions that's going to keep going a little bit further. I have a feeling that if I had wanted to, or if he had wanted to, we could have just talked about this until 9 o'clock our time.
We did have a lot of people who wanted to know what state he thought it was in.
Yeah.
His name is Brent.
His name is Brent. That's right. Brent Johns.
For those who are
okay,
keeping
so
track.
we got a voicemail, and I haven't had a chance to hear
Brent,
this.
if you wanted to start the hashtag.
Toby, it's John Morrow from California. I was very confident that you're not looking for the treasure, but you're building YouTube channels. For someone who is a new searcher like myself, where would you look if you were looking from all the knowledge and all the clues and all the poems and all the books? If you had to pick one general area, not in specifics, but in one, let's say, town or one river or one waterfall, if there was some place that you would think is a good place to look, where would that be? I really appreciate your time. You and Shelley are a breath of fresh air, and continue the great work. Thank you for any help, and I'm planning a trip back to New Mexico next summer. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your call. And I have a sense that everybody in the room could answer this question for you. I couldn't hear.
Let's all say it together. It's in the mountains, somewhere north of Santa Fe.
So in the general area, to answer your question, if I was looking for the treasure, I would look in the mountains, somewhere in the mountains north of Santa Fe. Now, more specifically, the place that I found the most enticing after looking in all of those mountains north of Santa Fe was along the Rio de los Pinos as it crosses from Colorado into New Mexico and just before it enters the Toltec Gorge. That if I was really interested in spending a lot of time, money, and effort looking, that's where I'd look. So mountains north of Santa Fe, that's where he told us to look. That area above Toltec Gorge seems to me very fenny, and there's a couple 100,000 places to hide a big treasure chest. So,
big treasure chest, or a little one, a 10 by 10 one.
So Mr. Anonymous says, let me stop that. Toby for president.
Stop that.
I would make a terrible president. I've got a bunch of skeletons.
You couldn't be much worse than we know.
Oh, easy, girl, easy. Mr. Anonymous says, a Gypsy's Kiss, do you guys know if there is any relevance to the rumor going around that Forrest is giving some sort of announcement this week sometime? I have heard the rumor. I have not heard anything from Fenn. I don't know where and when the rumor started, but it is a rumor. So until it happens, I will assume that it's just a rumor. Because I don't think he has.
It could be wishful thinking.
Yeah, it could
we
be.
don't know.
I personally, I hope somebody has contacted him. I hope John has contacted him, or Brent has contacted him and said the treasure's been found by a widow and her 3 young children. Couldn't think of anything better. January 17th.
Except
that's
that they would tell us
pretty
for
cool
sure,
date.
and then we could stop
Anything
looking.
special for you? It's very special to me. So that's Brad. Oh, he's talking to the January 17th person. So January 7th, there's another one. So January 17th to me is my birthday, 1/17/49. So that's why it's special to me. January 17th, it's his birthday, his or her birthday too. We don't know what he is. So look at his whole bunch of January 17ths in there. Bunch of cappies.
Say it's your birthday.
We need that song.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay. So that's another voicemail. Try to answer that. We got another voicemail. Hello, greetings from Ken from Colorado. Love the show, Toby and Shelley. Mike, well, thank you, Ken. My question is, being a YouTuber myself, how do you deal with the crazies that claim they found the chest? It wasn't there when they found the blaze. The chest is a hoax, and countless other crazy claims. You get in emails, calls, texts, etc. I have only a fraction of subscribers to my channel, Treasures Galore, not to be confused with the Facebook group, but named after the chapter in Too Far to Walk. You guys do, but I have attracted many crazies that have made bold claims and slandered me about my thoughts. How do you guys do it? Seriously, please give me some insight into your wisdom and expertise. So,
well, that helps a little bit.
yeah, super
Louis
chat.
Bell. Yeah. Thank you, Louis Bell, $20. And she has a song that she'd love to have us play.
Yeah, Lulu.
Unless it's from YouTube music, we can't play it anymore.
We can't for right now until we get this resolved with YouTube.
We're having some real issues with YouTube.
But thank you for the $20.
Lately.
If you want your $20 back, you just ask Google; they'll give it back to you.
Yeah, that's true.
So part of it is that Google gives you the ability. YouTube has a bunch of features that enable you to block the crazies, basically, if they're real crazy. And I don't think of crazy. I mean, this treasure hunt.
Mean ones.
Yeah, I don't worry about the.
Brent wasn't mean.
Brent was not mean.
We don't agree with him.
Humble.
But he's not
we
mean.
don't agree with him. We're not sure that he. But he's not mean. He's not calling people names and saying that they're stupid, et cetera, et cetera. So YouTube gives you the tools that you can block them with. You can block their comments. You can block their participation on the channel. And if we see any meanness, that's what we do. We block them from the channel. We probably have more blocked people than any of the other FenTubers, but we use it because we expect everybody to be civil. And if you can't be civil, we don't want you
And we want to
around.
protect the other people in our chat room as well. We don't stand for anybody being attacked in our chat room.
Right. So that's the first thing is then you can get emails. The emails are kind of the same way. Sometimes they're just humble emails saying that they found the treasure. Our standard response to somebody saying that they found the treasure, that they went there and the treasure was recovered, that they went there and Fenn took the treasure back, or I don't get much of the hoax things. I don't get a lot of people saying that it's a hoax because they know how I feel about it. And so they don't even waste their time. But the others, we always respond with a standard phrase. There is no credible evidence of any kind that the poem has been solved, that the treasure has been found and or retrieved. There's no evidence. And generally when you say that, what you find with them is they can't provide that evidence. It's just, I'm planning to go there, or I went there and there was a hole in the ground, et cetera, et cetera. There is no evidence that anything happened. And honestly, for as bad as it is now, while Fenn is still alive, I imagine it's going to increase by an order of magnitude. We have a couple of rules when it comes to those things. And the first is we don't play down. Can I tell my we don't play down story?
I don't know. Did you?
So I was a soccer coach. I coached girls soccer for 17 years in a very competitive soccer league in and around the Washington, D.C. area. It's the WAGs, Washington Area Girls Soccer. I coached all my daughters for over a 17-year period. And as I first started coaching, they divide the age groups into divisions, and each division has 10 teams, and it goes from the top division, Division 1, to down to Division 5, where every new team starts and then works their way up. Well, we started like everybody else in Division 5, and then I'd get my girls, because of my experience, I'd get them into Division 3 and eventually into Division 1. And about 4 years into my coaching career, I got a call from a coach that was in, they divide the areas into cities. So we were the Chantilly area. So another Chantilly coach, he was in a lower division with his girls, same age group, but in a lower division, and he asked if we would scrimmage him. And I did. I thought it would be just a nice thing to do. So we were in Division 1. This team was in Division 4 or 5. So we scrimmaged them. My girls beat them. You know, there's a point at which you just want to stop the game because it's just going to get ugly. And so we said our thanks. We thanked us for doing that. And it took me a week and a half worth of training, worth of practice sessions to get my girls back to the level that they were. They actually played down to the level of this other team. So I ignored it. I thought, oh, that was interesting. And then about a season later, another coach asked, I did it again, and it was the same result. That summer, I I used to go to the coaching clinics at North Carolina University, which at the time had the best clinics in the world because they had the best girls team in the United States. They won several Division I championships over a couple of seasons. And so I described this problem to one of the mentors, one of the instructors at this this 2-week-long coaching clinic. And he said, never play down. Don't play down. And I didn't exactly know what he meant. He said, if you end up playing a game at a level below you, you're going to lower yourself and your team to that level. So the one rule that we consistently adhere to here at Gypsy's Kiss is we don't play down. If we get a nasty gram from somebody that doesn't like what we're doing or is criticizing the manner in which we're doing it or telling us, I don't respond. It doesn't do me any good to respond. I don't play down. If there's another person making nasty YouTube videos and we get mentioned in those, we don't play down. We let it go. I'm not going to play at that level. I'm not going to allow us to play at that level. So as a YouTuber, I'm going to make the same suggestion to you. Use the tools that YouTube gives you to block the annoying ones. Ignore the humble, but kind of, they fall into like Brent. I can't get mad at Brent. It's his opinion. And he has a story to tell and he just wants to tell it to somebody, but he's not mean about it. He's not calling me names and getting mad that that I'm questioning him. But there are the crazies out there. Block them. You can block the Google emails so you never see their emails again and let them go. I don't even tell Shelley about it. I don't think it's important enough to mention Shelley some of the things that I see that if I got into, I would be playing down, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to play down. It doesn't help us. It can only hurt us, and it takes us down to their level. We're just not going to do that. So use the tools that YouTube gives you. Google Mail gives you, because you can block Google Mail incoming by individuals, and don't play down. Never play down. Okay, so where did that question come from? Was that from the room?
No.
Where did it come from?
You just read it off of there.
Oh, okay. You're right. Sorry. Okay, inbound voicemail. Let me make sure it's clean. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. One more voicemail before we open up the phone lines.
Hi, Toby. Hi, Shelley. This is Gary, G-Man from Pennsylvania. I spoke
Gary.
to you for about 10 minutes on the show called The Special Place last week. The gentleman who you're talking to right now is apparently very confused. The test that I was actually, he says he was with 200 feet. I was right at the spot where the chest was hidden. The chest is not there, and I know who has it. I'm pretty sure I know who has it, who beat me to the location by a couple of days. The gentleman is extremely confused. and where the chest was very close to Forrest Fenn's special place, which was related to when he was rescued in Laos on December 22nd, 1968. And in the book, I don't have it in front of me, but in the book he refers to owing debt to that location, and the sound of the cascading waters on several sides where the chest was originally hidden. The chest is not there. I can confirm that because I know what the blaze is, and I lined up the exact location with my GPS coordinates. And so this gentleman is extremely confused. I'm not saying he doesn't have a letter, but he's wasting his time. And it was smart on your part, Toby, not to go to Colorado, because it's not in Colorado. It was originally hidden in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, north of Santa Fe. Thank you.
All right. So I guess the question
out.
I guess the question with that one is, are they talking about the same situation where someone, because this gentleman claimed that it had been recovered, are they talking about the same? So now we have two people claiming
lost me. I'm sorry. I'm just totally lost.
And
totally lost on the whole
Davia
thing.
says he feels Fenny.
I just don't understand if it's been found. How come Fenn isn't telling us that it's been found?
Maybe that's
the last thing we
announcement
heard from Fenn was that it was still out there.
Yep.
Why would he wait to make that kind of announcement? Why wouldn't he just
maybe
say, stop searching? Because he knows people are leaving every day on another search.
Right.
They're spending money. They're taking risks. All, in search of this treasure, he says, is out there. If it's not out there anymore, why wouldn't he tell us?
I think he would let us know, one way or the other.
I think so too.
Bloop Bop. Here, Bloop Bop, this is for you. Got the warning, brother. You were doing good. Okay, so I think it's time. Gosh, we have a whole half hour of inbounds. All right, so I'm going to open up the phone lines for your inbound calls. So if you have anything to say, this would be a good time to call 866-597-9901. That's 866-597-9901. Call us and tell us what you're doing, where you're searching, who you think found the treasure, what you think Forrest is going to say in this rumored event that's supposed to take place on this weekend.
Illinois Ghost just popped in from Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. I used to have a condo. Well, so I had my daughter, Ryan Marie, actually graduated from the University of, what is it? It's the University of the Chanticleers, whatever they are. What school was that? She graduated. She's a marketing major.
Chanticleer is a kind of rooster.
Yeah, it is, but it's a very colorful rooster, and they had their colors. Their colors were like teal, and I mean, it was just a very colorful
rooster thing.
What the hell university is that? My daughter went there for 4 years.
You paid the checks.
So yeah. We used to spend a lot of time down there. Plus, they have a great bike week down there that I think is better than the bike week at Daytona. It's a lot more refined, if you will. So I used to do that every once in a while. So yeah, I like Myrtle Beach. We were big fans, and as a matter of fact, that's where one of my exes used to live. I don't want to talk about this.
Okay. So moving on to Rooster Tech University, says Give Me Truth.
Rooster Tech. It's let's see. Blue Bob says, Toby, it's an honor to get the zebra. Yes, that's the way I see it.
It's a yellow card on that.
Coastal Carolina University. That's what it was. Toby is a wild hog. No, I wasn't a wild hog. I was a
picture taker.
So I wasn't a big. I wasn't big hog
didn't
guy.
Have a mascot.
All the bikes that I had were cafe racer style. The last one was a Buell. I like that cafe racer style rather than the big hog things. Wasn't a big fan of those. But I went down because it had a Harley engine in it, and I could get attention. I liked getting attention with it.
All right.
Let's see. Davio says, AGK, what announcement on the weekend? There's a rumor going around the community that Fenn has some kind of announcement to make this weekend. It's just that. It's a rumor. It hasn't been validated by anybody. Maybe if K-Pro's on, still has her wireless connection, she can text Fenn and ask him if there's
our phone lines are open videos so people know.
Yeah, phone lines are open. Yeah.
Hello. Hello?
Who's there? I'm talking. Hello.
Hello. Who is this?
You know what this is.
Phone lines are open. Just got a text message, so let's go read the text message. Steve from Houston, hello. Is it possible to turn down the ringer for your incoming calls on the live show? The loud sound terrifies my old dog. Thanks. Love watching.
You turned down your computer volume.
Well, that's, I don't think I can do. I think we tried that, Steve, and this is the lowest. We actually changed the ringer sound to that little ding, ding, ding because I used to have the.
And now Toby doesn't even know when his phone's ringing.
And then, now I can't hear my phone ringing. I'm missing half my calls. Okay, so maybe let's see if that one, I've turned it down as far as it goes. It's still going to ring because part of this is it's coming through our smart line. So maybe I hope I'm not disturbing your dog too much. So we'll try that. So somebody call and find out if the ringer's at a good place. Here we go.
Here we are.
That's it. That's about as low as it can go. As low as it can go. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your observation? Make sure you turn down the audio on your computer so that we don't get that feedback.
Oh, hi, Toby. Hi, Shelley. This is Gary Delvicio calling from Pennsylvania. G-Man, I left you a voicemail.
Yeah, we got it.
A few minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah, real quick. The gentleman that has the chest that beat me there by a few days, he's from Texas, and you'll probably find that out pretty soon. And I think the reason why Forrest hasn't said anything because the person that found it, God bless him, had to consult with lawyers and do all that stuff first. And plus, I think he was a little bit overwhelmed. But he's a longtime searcher, and I can tell you that where the chest was hidden, there's about a 12-foot thick stone overlaying a small rivulet in a small woody area in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, close by a meadow that was Forrest Fenn's very special place that is related to, as I said in my voicemail a few minutes ago, his rescue from Laos in December of 1968. Because in that particular instance, Forrest had a rebirth, if you will. That's how I interpreted the book. He had a rebirth that day that he was rescued. It was originally going to be his last mission. And then he went back to that site. He pleaded with his commander because it was bad luck to be shot down on your last.
Wait. Oh, okay, so we know. Hold on. We know that story. Let's go on to this other story. So you said that the person that recovered the treasure is a male. Is that correct?
He absolutely is.
So
a male.
it's not the woman. So the other gentleman said it was a widow and her 3 daughters. So there's already some, difference there. So you think it's a man. Do you know this person?
I do not know him, no.
Oh. So if you don't know the person, how do you know he has the treasure?
I was able to deduce from, on my last day in the field, that after I went back to the hotel, I was able to figure some stuff out on the internet, and some of the things that the person has said on the internet, it was a clear indication that he knew. He approached the problem of solving the clues by analyzing things that Mr. Fenn has said, the same way that I did.
So when did he? Let's go back to this guy for just a minute. When did he recover the treasure?
Sir.
How long has he had the treasure?
I don't know the exact date. I just know that it was sometime after May 27th and prior to June 8th.
So sometime between May 27th. So it's about 2/3 of a month back. When he recovered the treasure. And so what do you, based on what you've deduced so far, what is your opinion on the matter of why he hasn't announced it?
Well, I think he very appropriately is huddling with his attorneys and just assessing the situation and trying to figure out what is the best way to protect his interests and protect his personal safety and his family. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So
you
went to the same location because you said you discovered the treasure had been recovered. So technically it sounds like, or you can correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you and he had the same solution to finding the same theory that got you to the same location?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the treasure is no longer there.
It is not there. I can absolutely confirm that the treasure is not there. And,
so since the treasure is not there any longer, what was the solution that got you there? Where, for example, were your warm waters halt?
That'll be announced very shortly. The warm water is when it comes out of the mountain. It's obviously, that's where Mr. Fenn said there's plenty of places in the mountains where warm water halts.
Yeah.
Underground water generally is at a much lower temperature at a high elevation, but when it comes out of anywhere, but when it comes out of the mountain at a high elevation, it immediately gets colder.
Okay,
so
I understand that.
Immediately when it comes out.
But you have to have an accurate location in order to have a place to start. So where specifically?
I do.
And so I'm asking, where was that?
Well, it was an elevation of 10,600 feet.
On a map, if I wanted to look for on a map, what would be the nearest landmark that I would find on a map?
Nearest landmark, one of them would be an electrical power transmission line.
Give me a name, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a map here, and if you could give me a name, some sort of name, so I can see where the area you're talking about. Like, is there when I know in my Cimarron Canyon theory, I was near Horseshoe Mine, for example. Is there some sort of point
Toby.
Yeah.
Sure. Just look at Aspen Peak.
Aspen Peak.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see what we got there.
Follow the Hyde Park Highway, Route 475, all the way to the top to the Santa Fe ski base.
Oh, that's Aspen Peak. Isn't Aspen a lake? I used to go.
Look at Aspen Peak, and then look. If you're looking at Aspen Peak, if you were standing on top of the mountain and looking to the left, you'll see a stream a water that comes down on an angle.
Yeah.
And intersects with the electrical power transmission line.
So that
where it intersects.
So you've gone up the Hyde Park Road, parked at the ski basin. Yeah, parked at the ski basin, and then from there trekked in on the Windsor Trailhead. Is that the Windsor Trailhead?
No, you don't have to. I didn't trek the Windsor Trail. What I did is I walked directly under the electrical power transmission lines. Because they keep that area clear in case the trucks need to get in there for repair.
Yeah, but you did park at the Santa Fe ski basin.
Yeah, there's a parking lot. It's a big loop.
So when you got to this location where the treasure had resided, but now had been removed by the gentleman that you're describing, you said you didn't know his name, or you do know his name?
I do know his name.
And can you share that with us?
No.
Okay.
Out of respect for him and his family. And his
no. I understand that. So let's go back to this location. So you took this trek out towards Aspen Peak under the power lines along a stream, and you got to this location where you believed the treasure had resided until it was found by this other individual. What made you believe, what was it about that space that implied to you that there had been a treasure there at one time?
Well, first I want to say if you take the electrical power transmission line and you hike for about a half hour or so, it'll take you directly to where heavy loads and water high is.
Okay.
And
Notice,
if you're at that location,
so I'm going to assume, I've already assumed that because you found the location where you believe the treasure to be, that whatever you and however you interpreted Fenn's clues, you're correct. I'm not going to debate that with you. I think your clues are your clues. You found the location. I'm just asking, when you got to that location, what did it look like to you? What made you believe about the location where the treasure had resided, that a treasure had resided there? What was it?
Well, there's a number of things. Their terrain, for one, it's flat, even though it's at an elevation of 10,000 feet. Actually, to be more precise, it's at 10,120 feet is where it was, the location. And it's a relatively flat area. It's a low-lying area. It's extremely muddy, and it's covered in many dozens of small rivulets.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect location because the muddy rivulets themselves act as a natural barrier. It's very heavily thick with underbrush, and it'll be even more so in the month of July, August, and September. And
so, okay,
where he put the chest was.
So he lifted. Somehow the gentleman that arrived there before you discovered that the chest was there and removed it. Was there any indication that that 42-pound box had actually sat there? Was there an indentation in this mud, or had all evidence of it being removed been all evidence of the treasure being removed had been lost to nature? Was there any indication, any physical indication that a treasure, 42-pound treasure, had been there?
Well, where I was, the tall grass in some cases was flattened. That's the first thing. But more importantly, Toby, is I lined up precisely the GPS coordinates with the blaze.
Yeah.
If you know where the blaze is, it leads you directly to the location.
Well,
That's
are you in the chat room right now?
No, I'm not.
Why don't you do me a favor, since I was going to ask you if you had recorded the GPS coordinates of this location, why don't you email me those GPS coordinates so I can share it with the community?
Well, I'm in the middle of working with someone, and we're going to announce some things very shortly, but we're waiting for the gentleman who found the chest to receive his accolades, because out of respect for him. But I can tell you,
what is there to once somebody announces the treasure, that they've recovered the treasure and provide evidence to the world that they have done so, what's left to talk about?
Well, I think there's a lot to talk about. The place that Mr. Fenn put it in is absolutely brilliant, and the reason it has such special significance is because it was a rebirth for him, and his being rescued the second time after being shot down in Laos afforded him the opportunity to continue on his life's journey with his wonderful wife.
So let's get back to the nuts and bolts of this thing. Fenn tells us that at some point you've got to find the blaze and you have to look quickly down. What was your blaze? What was your blaze in this case?
The blaze is Aspen Peak.
It's what?
Aspen Peak.
Oh, the peak itself is the blaze.
Yes, sir.
And you could look down from Aspen Peak and see the treasure.
Not that you could look down. If you were looking at a topographical map, that's what he was referring to. People, thousands, probably 100,000 or more searchers have made the mistake in thinking you could go out into the forest and the mountains and look for a blaze of white rock, a river, or this. No, what Mr. Fenn was referring to, and this is why he said in the poem, where he uses the word "listen good,"
Yeah.
You have to really understand what Mr. Fenn is saying. And if you look at a topographical map and you follow that line down, it leads directly to where the treasure was.
Mm-hmm.
Not where it is, because I was there and it's not there. And it was treated under a thick, flat stone that was about 12 inches thick that was overlaid on top of a rivulet that had a short height, and it was the perfect place to put a chest. I looked under that. I had to kneel down in the muddy water, the small little stream, in the cold. It was very cold, even though it was June 12th, and the water was very cold. And I looked under there with a flashlight, and all I saw was hanging moss, and there was no way he would have pushed it, too far back. And I looked, for the first few feet, and the chest was not there.
I'm heading up.
But I had a lot of great video in the search area, but it's second place. What are you going to do?
So there's Aspen Peak. And Aspen Peak, according to the topographical map that I'm looking at right now, is at 11,099 feet.
Well, actually, my map is 11,009, but I've seen different numbers.
So, let's assume that it's 11,000 feet.
Summit.
I have to go down pretty far to get to that 10,200 foot max that Fenn said I wouldn't have to travel beyond. You're up at 11,000 feet. How does that play into the advice that Fenn gave us?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I was never I didn't have to go anywhere near Aspen Peak.
Oh.
If you look at the contour line on a map, it at 10,002, a little bit further down the mountain.
I see it.
Where the contour line passes the Rio and Medio Trail. Rio and Medio stands for a river in the middle.
Uh-huh.
And where the contour line passes 10,200 feet on the intersects with the Rio and Medio Trail, you just take a couple
Rio
of feet
and
over.
Medio. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. So I can see where the 10,000 foot contour line crosses the Rio and Medio. And it's not far from the power lines that you described. So I can see that here, and that's, I have some GPS coordinates from it. So how far from that intersection of the Rio and Medio and the 10,200 foot contour line is the treasure, and what direction? Where should I head? So I'm looking at that location right now. Where should I go from there?
Toby, there's two different ways you could have gotten to the treasure. You could approach it from the top by going to where you don't even need to go to where heavy loads of water.
So I get that. So now I've got crosshairs over the intersection between the 10,200 foot contour line and the Rio and Medio. Where do I go from there?
Let me get my map.
Okay.
Listen, Toby, all you need to do is pull into the parking area and take the Rio and Medio upper trail down. It's about a 15-minute walk until you come to where the contour line intersects the Rio and Medio.
That's where I'm at. So I've got a crosshairs and GPS coordinates for exactly that location right now. What do I do now?
Okay. The Rio and Medio crosses the contour line crosses the Rio and Medio at an elevation of 10,000 feet. Where it crosses at 10,000 feet, you take a couple of feet back up the trail, and you'll be lined up perfectly with the blaze. At that point, you turn left, and you head about 200 feet into a swampy area. A low-lying swampy area.
I've got that.
I triangulated
so
it.
That's
it's
between
500 feet from where the two.
So I'm there. I'm looking at the low-lying area between 10,000 and 10,050 feet.
Right. The treasure was at about 10,120 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to give those geographic coordinates, guys. This is where the treasure was. It was at 35.79727, comma, minus 105.81399. So that's where the treasure was.
Not exactly right, but it's sort of close.
Pretty dang close based on the information you gave me.
Put a pin there.
Well, it gets you, Toby. It gets you into the area, and I spent several days there. And like I said, I was following the rivulets and the streams because I knew Mr. Fenn said it would be wet.
So how are you going to? So the weird thing about all this is that somebody else is going to get credit. You went to the same location, but someone else is going to get credit for having found the treasure. How are you going to deal with that?
Well, I mean, he beat me to it by a few days. I mean, I played sports for a lot of years when I was a kid. You have to know how to lose graciously. You know, he deserves all the props. You know, absolutely. I had it figured out last October, but the search season was too cold. I've been tracking the weather every day at that location for many months. And the first time when I saw that the weather was going to be in the upper 70s, but you know, I got a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
All three of my trips to Santa Fe, I got one-way tickets because I was extremely confident. I actually, on my very first trip, I was only 100 feet or so from my search areas, all concentrated off of that meadow and the Rio and Medio. I looked nowhere else. And
so explain to me again.
So
So tell me one more time, how is it that you're confident that about this person that beat you to the treasure? You know it's a male. What else do you know about him?
I know his age. I know what he looks like. I know he doesn't have a lot of hair.
Does he know you know about him? Does he know you?
No, absolutely not. And I know where he lives. I mean, but I've not reached out to him.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Understand whoever, in this case, this particular gentleman that found the chest. I mean, you can only imagine the pressure that he must feel.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to see how he handles it when he actually has to announce it. So, G-Man, we're about to go to 20 minutes with this call. Thank you for calling in and clarifying all of that. We look forward to the announcement from this individual that he found the treasure, and we look forward to whatever happens after that. We'll move on. We got Shelley and I want to move on to our new channel, so I guess
Thank you so much.
I guess we can do that sooner than we expected. All right, sir.
Okay.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 866-597-9901. The phone lines are open. Give us a call.
For those of you who were wondering, Aspen Peak is in New Mexico. In the Santa Fe Ski Basin is the area that they were looking at.
Yeah, if you go to, you can drive, as a matter of fact, for those of you going to Fenn, you're going to be on the Ski Basin Road if you continue it past Hyde Park. I know this well because we used to race down on motorcycles this road. And we used to ski in high school at the Ski Basin. But if you go to the Ski Basin and go into the parking area, Aspen Peak is about, not even, let me see, line distance from here to, Aspen Peak is less than 1,000 yards from the Santa Fe Ski Basin ski area. And then the area that he was talking about is...
you want to put that on the screen? Or?
Oh, yeah. So here, hang on. Let me do this. Let me just share this on the screen with you.
Now that you've made a bunch of silly lines on it.
Okay, I got to discard that. Okay, so let me share this with you so you guys can see where Aspen Peak is. Let's see, screenshot. Okay, so that's right, 475 is the road that goes from Santa Fe up to the Santa Fe Ski Basin. That area in blue right there is Hyde Memorial State Park, which is where Fenn is going to take place. And again, this is the area that I grew up in. You can see how much fun that road would be to ride on a motorcycle. We used to have a great time. And as a Boy Scout, I did a lot of hiking, camping up there with my scouting buddies. I'm going to put the crosshairs right there on Aspen Peak. So as you can see, the line distance between, that's the parking area at Santa Fe Ski Basin, and that's the distance to Aspen Peak. That's about 875 yards. And then I'm going to go down towards the 10,000 foot marker, and this is the area that I'm going to put a marker there. So that's the area, the marshy area that he was talking about. See that line right there, that straight line that runs into the northwest? That's the electrical lines, the what do they call it? The not leeway, but the right-of-way for electricity, the heavy power. And then the area that he was kind of trying to describe to me was right there. So technically the total distance would have been 861 plus 970. So 1,500 yards, 1,600 yards, give or take, from the basin going up to Aspen Peak. You can take the shortcut. So what he was doing is, let me discard this. So he was headed over in this direction. So he went this way. He started there, and then he followed the trail there and there and there and there. So that's a total of, what does it say? 0.8 of a mile total. So that's the area that he's talking about. Okay?
Susie Fenhaven, we had a call from somebody who also called us last week who said the place he searched, which we were just showing on the map, the treasure had already been retrieved from. So he came in second place. He will not reveal to us who it is that has the treasure. Fenn has not made any kind of announcement saying the treasure's been found. So we are, there is a rumor, and it's just a rumor at this point, that he may make some sort of announcement this weekend during the function in the Junction. But again, that could just be something about being at Function in the Junction or being at Fenbury. We don't know what the announcement refers to, or even if there's going to be one.
We know he's not going to be at Function in the Junction. We know he's not going to be there. The rumor that he was making an announcement is just that. It's a rumor. There's been no validation by Fenn or anyone else that he's making some kind of announcement. So Davio says you should make a coin or medallion out of your logo. I've actually designed one, Davio, both sides of the coin with our logo on one side and some pithy words on the other side. But we just haven't pulled the trigger on that. We don't know. We don't know what to do with it. It's not Fenn. It's not the treasure. It's a Gypsy's Kiss, and I don't know if we have the same.
You can get stuff on Zazzle with our logo on it.
Yeah, you can go to Zazzle if you want
something like that.
Baseball cap or a T-shirt with our logo on it. You can get.
Well, there's even like Christmas ornaments you can get. So yeah.
Yeah.
If you're, that's something you're into.
We're gonna have to close this a little bit because I have to potty.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So thanks for joining us tonight. I've closed the phone lines down. A lot of interesting calls tonight. A lot of treasures being found and announced. So let's see what happens. And as we said, if the treasure is found, we might have a couple of weeks of mourning to deal with, and we'll do that. But we showed you our new channel, so you can go join us over there.
Yeah.
And we won't worry about this dadgum treasure anymore. It's time to not lose sleep over it. Davio, you're going to have to explain that. So Jimi Hendrix, who I'm a big fan of, would dig it. But Davio, clarify for me. I don't know why Jimmy would dig it. I dig it, brother. Every time I hear dig it, I think of that movie, The Warriors. Did anybody ever see The Warriors? You got to see The Warriors. It's the best, cheesiest movie ever. It just, can you dig it? That's every time I hear dig it. That's what I think of. Let's get together on the coin, cast bronze instead of stamped copper. Ooh, dang. Oh, 3D bronze. That's our friend with the pendant from last week. So
oh yeah,
we have a design and we know who to. We were thinking of going with bronze rather than copper, but we just haven't pulled the trigger on it. We can't. We don't know what to do with it. What do we do? Hey, it's a Gypsy's Kiss coin. Meh.
Yeah.
Meh. We would do a Michael Hool. Meh. Gypsy's Kiss coin.
All right. So.
Wow, that
wake up
really
the dog.
Too. Yeah, that just woke up the poor puppy again. All right, and
thanks everybody for being here tonight and joining us in the chat room, and all your great questions and comments all added to the show tonight. And for Gypsy's Kiss, I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby the Topester Younis. Thanks for joining us tonight. We love these conversations with texts and voicemails and inbound calls. I just love doing this, and it gets more fun every time we do it. And honestly, I hope nobody finds the treasure so we could just do this, and I'll be 88 years old and we'll still be doing taking calls. 866-597-9901. You guys enjoy your night. We will see you Friday at 1 o'clock for a Gypsy's Kiss Friday Ventrospection.
Got it.
Then again at 2:30 for the softer side. Then again at 4 o'clock for It's Not a Restoration. You don't have to do that. You don't go subscribe to It's Not a Restoration so we can get to 1,000.
Yeah.
Monetize that baby now.
Yeah.
And then
If
we
you
will
can't
see
do
you
super chat, you can do this as it's free.
Friday
Subscribe.
night Fandango, where we'll do a couple of quick emails, text voicemails, and then let's take those calls because the calls are a riot. I love doing them. Good night. We love you.